Ginger, Zach.
Hi, Zach. How are you doing?
I'm doing good.
I'm so glad to talk to you, and I'm so glad you're bringing your story tour to Michigan. I'm excited to see it.
Oh,
Uh,
nice.
I'm excited because you're bringing it. I don't know if you're aware, because I know there's so many venues. But when you come here in November, you're coming to the DTE Energy Theater, which is an amphitheater, and it is so cool. It's like such a
Oh,
cool
awesome.
venue. So people can sit out on the lawn and chill to your music, or they can get right there in the action under the pavilion.
Really?
So, oh yeah, so you got a really cool venue when you come to Michigan.
So it's outdoor?
Yeah, it's partially outdoor. It has a little pavilion right there by the stage.
That could be a little cool in November, huh?
Oh, it'll be beautiful. I mean, and yeah, I
Nice.
mean, it'll be probably in the 50s, but it's just cool enough to, it's 50 or
Very cool.
60s. Yeah, you have a light jacket. Everybody brings their blankets and their, coolers or whatever they allow them to have now. But,
Awesome.
and they sit on blankets, and most of it's the amphitheater out on the lawn. But the rest,
cool.
but you have a pretty good pavilion thing too. So now
That'll be
this
nice.
tour is totally different though. So this rescue story tour, we get to have dinner with you if we'd like, right?
Yeah.
And it's not chicken nuggets either. It's like good
No,
stuff.
it's real deal. Actually, we just had our kitchen, the truck that we had built to pull behind the bus got delivered like 2 days ago to Nashville, and it's pretty nice. So I'm looking forward to it. I was just in Napa last week, hanging out with the chef that's going to be coming out on tour with us and trying to finalize everything for the tour. So he's excited. We're excited. Everything's coming together. So it's going to be a good night.
And so, Josh Baldwin is on this tour, correct?
Josh is on the tour. Yeah, it's going to be it's going to be awesome. I'm looking forward to it. It's shaping up to be a really good tour.
And they get from looking at, you have like the menu up there for people to like look at what you're going to eat and everything.
Yeah. So I think there's only, I think we cap it at 50 spots. So if anybody's interested in doing it, yeah, they need to pull the trigger.
Yeah, better head on over to his website or Facebook links.
A few of them that have already sold out. I don't know about that.
It probably won't take long. Yeah. You throw in a really good chef inspired dinner. That's
I've eaten the menu that he's cooking for this, and it's pretty amazing. So
can I ask, like what was the inspiration behind doing the sit down dinner thing?
Yeah, so when I moved to college, my mom sent me to school with a cookbook, and she said, "You need to learn how to cook. You need to learn how to cook because I'm not going to be there to do it anymore." And that was around the time where Food Network was kind of kicking off, and I used to come home in between classes and turn the TV on and catch some of these food shows on the Food Network, and I just fell in love with cooking a lot like I did. At the time, I was just learning how to play guitar. I was 19 years old, teaching myself how to play guitar. I was teaching myself how to cook, and I realized there was a lot between the both of them that I really liked. I love music. I love writing a song and letting somebody hear it, seeing their reaction. It was the same for me with food. I love to see what somebody thought about something that I made for them. And then the fact that both of them, brings people together. For me, it was like a no-brainer. So a few years ago, I wrote a cookbook that had some of my favorite recipes that I cooked for my family in it. And we've kind of been holding off on doing anything with it. And then on this tour, I was like, I would really love to do a meet and greet or an eat and greet before the show and, give everybody one of these cookbooks and some utensils and some spices and an apron or something, and then come out and hang out, play a song or two before every show and just let people enjoy themselves. And so, it's been something I've been thinking about for the last couple of years. And finally, we were able to make it happen for this tour just to see if it's going to work. And all the promoters seem to be really into the idea. So this is kind of going to give me a good gauge of what it's going to look like in the spring when we go back out and do this again. So.
Well, I love, you just put out Rescue Story as a single. We've been playing it, and I love everything. I got to tell you, Old Church Choir is one of my ringtones. And
awesome.
I have had my mom made me make one of her ringtones Old Church Choir because she loved, because it's the chorus,
that's funny. Yeah, that's awesome.
It's, us Texas women, we, you throw an Old Church Choir in there, we'll pretty much go on with anything. I saw you just performed at the Grand Ole Opry.
Yeah, we did. We were there 2 months ago, I guess.
How was that?
It's pretty awesome. This think last night made our 8th time to play at the Opry, and we had never played last. We've never closed the show, so it was pretty cool to be up there, and we got to have like 15 minutes to do 3 songs. So it was really nice. But that's such a iconic place when you're standing in that little circle and you know start processing how many legends have stood there saying music. It's
thinking of all those people that sang there before you. And,
exactly.
I'm curious. So I love your style of music. It's kind of, I don't know, like rockabilly, or I don't know what you call it, but I just love it. It's like, it's not country, it's not bluegrass. It's kind of like somewhere in between. It's got its own genre, kind of like Need to Breathe. And I'm curious, like, is there anybody like that, a couple of people, or even one person that you've thought of? Man, I'd love to collaborate with this person on a song or an album or a tour.
You know, I don't.
It's me. Go ahead and say it. It's me. Yeah.
You know, I've had a few people. Like, I've got people that I grew up listening to, like some of the older Christian rock guys. Man, I remember when I was in like, 10, 11 years old. Like, I could not put down Bon Lefevre or Petra's albums. Like, my dad had all this stuff on vinyl, and I used to go in there and play with his record player and listen to these bands over and over. And then he also had a couple younger brothers who were into Southern rock and classic rock. So I also was doing the same thing with like Bob Seger records and the Allman Brothers and things like that. So I think everything just kind of, for me, turned into this melting pot of music, and I grew up in Arkansas, an hour from where Johnny Cash was born. So I was around that music. I was around the Delta Blues. I mean, I could probably name a number of people that I'd love to do collaborations with. If we're talking about somebody in our genre, been trying to think. I mean, I don't know. It's hard to tell.
I say
I guess it would just depend on what the song is.
Yeah.
And then I would try to figure out who the best person is to do that with. I did do a song on this new record. I let the cat out of the bag, but everybody's going to find out in about a month anyway. But I recorded a song and did a duet with Dolly Parton on this new record.
Oh man!
And it was one of the coolest days of my life. I mean, she's
one of the wisest people on the planet.
Yeah, and
she's amazing.
She just had a way about coming into the room, and even though everybody knew she was running the show, she made sure that everybody there felt like she was, paying attention to them and talking to them. And like, I just remember thinking how cool it was for her to take the time to come by and, record on a song I wrote. And so
she's everything we hope she is.
Excited about that. Yeah. So it comes out October 4th. It'll be on the new record. And,
oh my gosh, how awesome.
Yeah. So we're pretty excited about that song as well.
I mean, that's got to be a bucket list thing right there. That would be a really,
very much.
Yeah. I'm curious. So, the album you have now, like, do you have like a song in particular that stands out as far as fans? Do you get more reaction from one song or another with this album? I know Fear is a Liar, by the way, congrats, I love it. It's on the Overcomer soundtrack, and that's such a great movie. People got to go see that, and that song is just ridiculous good. I love that.
Well, thank you. I would say, I mean, obviously Chainbreaker still, everybody
still
knows
big.
that one. We get a big response from Fear is a Liar, and then Survivor is like been an anthem for people. I have a lot of folks who've been cancer survivors. I mean, I get a lot of these older guys who've been like, that talk about prisoners of war and things like that. From like, they just, I mean, it's pretty cool to see all these people connecting to different songs, But for me, I mean, that's why I'm writing. That's why we're out here on the road playing these songs every night. It's really cool to know that God can take somebody who was broken and messed up as I was, and take these songs that I'm writing and connect them with people. It's cool to have this platform to share these stories, and just to know that, I mean, so many of us have the same story. It's cool to see God use these songs the way I intended for them whenever I wrote them.
And like I said, I'm a really big fan of all these, so I'm excited. So what date is the new album coming out?
The new record comes out October 4th.
Okay, so when you come out here,
record,
when you come out to Michigan in November, you'll be able to sing some of your new songs.
We're playing every one of them.
Oh, really?
A whole new record. Yeah, so we'll keep some of the favorites from the first one and play the whole new album.
That's so awesome. So you have a main website, I know, but can you tell everybody what it is?
ZachWilliamsMusic.com.
Okay, and it's ZACH.
Yeah.
Just so nobody spells it wrong.
Yeah. You'd be surprised.
I know. I just wanted to make sure nobody spelt it wrong, because if you want to see the Rescue Story tour, you want to have dinner with them and see Josh Baldwin as well, and get your tickets immediately, because if you want to have dinner with them, you don't want them to sell out, and don't want to miss having that time of food and fellowship, because I'm from Texas, and I'm Arkansas is the same people. I got relatives all over Arkansas, and with the South, it's all about the food with the fellowship.
Well, y'all come out. We can't wait to see you guys.
Well, I'm so thankful you took time today, Zach, and I hope you have an incredibly blessed day, and we'll see you in November at the amphitheater in Michigan. All right.
Appreciate it.